Today I want to do a little bit of a reading challenge. So the last reading challenge I did was a few months ago. I let AI select the books that I read. This time I'm going to do like a random color generator. So let me explain. Okay, so I have my laptop here. I have a random color wheel generator up on the screen. I'm going to spin it, and whatever color it lands on, that's the color that's going to correlate to the next book I read. So the next book will have to have majority of that color on the cover. All right, so here we go. Spin number one. Let's see what color it lands on. Okay, it's called Cyan, which is like a teal blue. So let me look around. Let me see what I got. Hopefully I have something within this color range. Good morning. All right, it's the next day. I've been reading Simmer Down. I feel like this color is the aesthetic of the one selected by the wheel. I think it's pretty good. I picked this one up at the library, but it's a little stiff. So I ended up buying the book and I'm reading it on my Kindle. I'm just about 50 pages in and it's good. I don't know what's gonna happen. It definitely feels like it's a enemies to something, not really sure where it's gonna go. Nikki, our lead character, she owns a food truck that she's took on in honor of her father. So we get a good amount of backstory from her. I think we're gonna get more of what she's going through mentally and also in her life currently. So I think it's gonna be a little bit more than a romance, which I do enjoy that kind of style. I definitely understand Nikki as a character. I used to own a food business, so I know how stressful it is. She definitely dabbles in that a little bit, talking about it. And it's cute. I feel like it's gonna be like a coming of age kind of thing. You know, she's almost 30, figuring things out still. That's my synopsis right now. So I'm gonna keep reading. I like to go on walks and I usually read on walks. So I'm kind of glad I ended up just buying it on the Kindle. It'll help me get through the book a little quicker. So yeah, that is the plan for today, is to just continue reading. Maybe we can get it done today. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, let's talk Simmer Down. So I did finish this yesterday. I'm a little torn by the book overall. There were moments that I was liking and then it got a little boring, but then it would catch me in again. So I don't know. I'm very torn about the book overall. It follows Nikki, our lead character, who owns a food truck in honor of her father. She owns it in Maui. If you're a fan of Hawaii, Maui in particular, I think you'll like this book. As far as the settings, it really does captivate you and make you feel like you're in Maui as well. There's a little bit of a food truck rivalry going on, so if you like the Great Food Truck Race, another plus for it. But I would say it was a little too long for me. It was roughly around 350 pages. And like I said, there were moments that I just felt a little checked out, a little bored, and then it would get me back in. But I think those lull moments kind of, knocked it down a little bit for me. I also think that I've read 4 romance books in a row. And, when you read too many in a row, obviously it gets a little repetitive. So that could also be the reason why I wasn't as invested in this. But I did like Nikki's journey as far as self-realization on certain things. So it was more than a romance for sure. I don't know what I'm rating it just yet. So I'm gonna pause and not rate it. Maybe we'll do it at the end of the video. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, overall a good start to this reading challenge. Let's see what's next color-wise. Gonna try to get a non-romance book because yeah, reading 4 in a row is kind of a lot. All right, so I have my color wheel generator on my screen. I did choose a different one that has different colors on it, particularly black, white, and brown, because I realized the other color wheel didn't have any of those colors. So let's see what we got this time. Orange. Okay. I don't think I have anything on my TBR that's orange. Alright, we may have to go to the bookstore. We're gonna see. I'm gonna look around. We'll see what I have, and then we'll start the second book. Has finally got me to read How to Stop Time. This has been on my bookshelf for a little over a year. I tried to read it a year ago. I couldn't get into it, but I will say I'm now halfway through and I'm enjoying it, I think. It's definitely a book that takes a minute to digest what's going on. So you're kind of given little bits, and as you continue reading, it comes together. So I'm still trying to figure out what we're really looking at overall. We're following Tim Hazard is his name. He is an albatross. That's what they're calling them. He can live forever. He's been alive for, I want to say it's 500 years. So he's experienced time from 1500s to present day. It's kind of like a Benjamin Button, right? Because I think Benjamin Button looked older but was younger, and then as he got older, looked younger. Is that right? Did that make sense? I don't even know. But in this case, he just looks younger, but he's older. And so you're going through his life in present tense, and then he's flashing back to periods of time in his life that have affected him or made a significant mark in his life. One in particular is his romance with Rose. So you're kind of seeing how that romance blossomed. In his present day, he is currently on the search for a woman named Miriam. Also in his present day, he decided he gets to choose his lives. And in today's present day, he decided he wanted to be a teacher in London, which is taking him back to where he met Rose. So he's kind of having all these past experiences come to life again. Every past experience that we read about correlates to something that's going on currently in the present. So yeah, the story I think will come full circle at some point. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe I'll get through the second half today. I go on a little vacation here shortly, so I do want to get this one done before I start the next book. So we'll see. Finished How to Stop Time. Since I finished last night, I've been trying to figure out how best to describe this book. If you've seen the movie Midnight in Paris, which is one of my top 10 favorite movies, this has some resemblance to that movie. Not 100%, but there is a past-future resemblance to it. I think overall, Tom as a character, he's very depressed, not the most positive-driven human, but then again, he's been living for 500 years, experiencing so many life things that I think over time it does take a toll on you. Reading about his past does get you a little empathetic towards him, but overall I didn't really find he was such a moving character. But I did root for him a little bit towards the end. I did want him to figure out how to stop time, which if you just read the epilogue, you'll get your answer. So if you want to skip the book and just know what happens, you can just do that. Matt Haig has a way of doing self-development type style books in a fictional form, so you do get sort of insightful thoughts. So yeah, take that as you will. Okay, so with How to Stop Time done, out of the way, I got my color wheel up. Let's see what the next book color is gonna be. Black. Okay, think I actually know what book I'm gonna read next. Okay guys, let's do a little Six of Crows update. I'm about 95 pages in. It's a little rough. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm a little checked out. I'm not gonna lie. There are moments that I'm engaged, especially when you're hearing about what the overall plot's gonna be, but then there's a lot of, I'm assuming we're reading like past experiences that seem kind of filler to me. I don't know. I know it's like to get us understanding the characters, but I'm like, it's rough. It is rough. I don't know if this also has to do with, we just got back from our trip. The flight was massively delayed, so I'm really tired. So that could be a reason why. I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying not to read books that I'm not overly engaged in at the moment. So I might soft DNF this. I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm gonna keep going today. I'm listening to some of it on like audiobook, but also reading some of it because I'm hoping maybe the audiobook will get me engaged a little more. It's such a popular book that I'm like, am I the only one that feels this way? Is it because I'm tired? Is it just the right book at the wrong time? You know? So we'll see. I'm gonna keep going. And if I stop reading, I stop reading. It is what it is. Six of Crows. I think, like I mentioned yesterday, this is the right book, but at the right time for me to read it. Last night I got to page 185, so a pretty decent amount of the book, and I'm just not 100% in it. And there's still a solid chunk of it left that I don't know if I'm gonna get in it right now. I think the synopsis of it is so good. You know, 6 teenagers that need to pull off this heist, which is so fun to read about. When they get into the heist moments, like talking about that part, I'm engaged, I'm in it. But then some of the other stuff, I'm just overly checked out, like to the point where I'm just reading the words and nothing's really like sticking. So for me, that is like, I need to put it down and maybe come back to it later on. So I am gonna soft DNF this one. So yeah, I'm not like closing it officially, but I am going to not continue reading it at this time. So let's recap a little bit. I'm always a little weird about rating books, I'll be honest, because these authors are putting it all out there and here I am critiquing and giving it a star rating. So I'm always a little weird about it. If I had to give Simmer Down a rating, I'd probably do a 3-star. I thought it was good. Like I mentioned, a little long in certain parts. I liked Nikki's self-growth through the novel, so that was really good. But yeah, I think overall 3-star for this one. And then I think it's gonna go 3-star as well for How to Stop Time. Like I mentioned, Matt Haig does more self-development fiction. So if you're into that, you're gonna like this. Overall, I like this challenge. It got me to read one book that was on my TBR for a while, so that's a plus. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.